Welcome to the very first episode of Shoot from the Hip, a podcast where the sharpest experts address all of the most important topics. The most important topics of today will be profound shower thoughts, a roundtable discussion of Would You Rather, and a draft of the best Disney princesses. Super manly stuff today. Now bear in mind, we meticulously avoid reading too much on these topics so we can provide you with the best expert opinion. So get out your pen and paper and take notes as we shoot from the hip. All right, to kick off today, I have just a couple, random conversation topics. I thought it was kind of funny. My wife and I were driving home, and we saw a limo. And she looked at me, and she goes, "Hey, look." I'm sorry. There was a hearse. And she said, "Hey, look, a limo." And I said, I looked over there, because I was like, where's the limo at? It was a hearse. And so I said, that's a hearse. And she goes, well, a hearse is a limo for dead people.
That is true, in a way.
I thought that was great.
It's like a chauffeured ride to, a destination.
Well, and it's that special, stretch vehicle, too.
It's always a Cadillac. It's like a stretch Cadillac or a Town and Country or something like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Is Gravedigger a hearse?
If it is,
No, it's not a hearse. No, it'd be cool if it was, though.
I was going to say,
monster truck.
If I kick off, I know who I'm calling. Setting that up.
There you go.
No, the other thing that I wanted to, I thought that was really interesting and just kind of profound. The other thing that I saw was it was just a list of things to ponder is what it's titled, but it's a list of questions that are supposed to be like these profound questions. And I thought it was kind of, they were just dumb questions. So let me go through them real quick.
I specialize in dumb questions.
Question number 1. If the number 2 pencil is the most popular, why is it still number 2? So I have particular answers for these, and I'll run through my answers.
This sounds
as
a lot
quickly
like
as possible.
the shower thoughts segment.
Yeah, I'll run through these as quickly as possible. So number 2 pencil, why is it called number 2 pencil? The number is in a ranking system, so it's a dumb question. All right, number 2. Why do we press harder on the remote control when we know the batteries are getting weak? Answer, we don't. We smack the controller until it's scared into working again.
You got to roll the batteries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Yeah. Nah, I just smack it until it submits. All right, so number 3. Why are you in a movie but on TV? Because TV is an object and a movie is a medium.
There you go.
That's actually a reasonable answer. That's my most reasonable answer in here. Number 4. What was the best thing before sliced bread? Obvious answer. The whole loaf. All right, number 5.
Wow.
Why do we drive on parkways and park on driveways?
I've heard that one before.
Yeah.
Because you don't park on driveways. They're merely a path to the garage. And parkways are just a way to the park. All right, number 6.
Oh, it's way to the park.
Yeah. It's a
way
parkway.
To drive, it's the way to get to the drive. Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah, driveway, I thought it was well, you're not supposed to park in the driveway, but that's technicality. All right, number 6.
That all depends on where you live.
It's true. It's very true. But,
Because you can live in some redneck areas, and everything's happening on the driveway.
And everyone closes in their garage because they need more room in their house.
Some garages are just a man cave.
Oh, yeah.
If you go enough into the redneck area, the whole yard is the driveway.
And the living room.
And the living room.
So there's a family across from my house that has a huge driveway, and then they have a garage, and somehow they still park on the road. And it just blows my mind.
I've always wanted a circle driveway.
Yes.
Just so I can pull in and out of my house in a circle. I just
feel
think it's the coolest feature.
I agree. Those horseshoe driveways?
Yes.
Yeah. I agree. All right, so number 6. Why do fat chance and slim chance mean the same thing? Answer, because neither are good and both can't get diet and exercise appropriately.
Oh, man.
Number 7. Why do British people never sound...
Was that chance shaming? Was that what that is?
Yes. Number 7. Why do British people never sound British when they sing? Answer, you've obviously never heard a Beatles song.
Yes, that's true. I would agree with that.
I don't know enough about the Beatles. I'm sorry.
I don't know a whole lot about the Beatles, but I know enough to know that when they sing, they sound British.
Do they? I don't know.
They don't
Yes.
sound British.
Okay.
They sound British.
Yes. 100%.
Okay.
All right, number 8. At a movie theater, which armrest is yours? Obvious answer, both.
Established dominance.
Number 9. When does it stop being partly cloudy and start being partly sunny? Answer somewhere in between.
That was profound.
That's perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Number 10. When French people swear, do they say "Pardon my English"? Answer: no, they wouldn't say "Pardon my English" because they speak French.
Oui, oui.
Thank you.
You seem very French, Lancer.
Thank you for the French input.
What is it? Merci beaucoup.
Yes,
that
that sounds French.
I don't know
I was about to
I don't know
say.
what it means. I've just heard French.
We
people say
pardon your French.
it. Okay, thank you. Pardon my French. Yeah.
Okay, number 11. Why do people say "heads up" when you should duck? Answer: they don't. They say "heads up" when they want you to see something coming. And that's just the dumb question to end on.
That's actually a true statement. If you throw something at somebody, you're like, "Hey, heads up."
Yeah. You want them to see it. It's not you want them to duck.
Right, I guess it's funnier if it hits them in the face when they were looking at it.
Yeah.
Because if you hit somebody in the face and they didn't know it was coming, you do feel guilt. But if they see it coming and it still hits them in the face, it doesn't matter. We just laugh.
Yeah.
But if something's about to fall on your head, they still say "heads up." Like they don't want you to get hit in the head, but they say "heads up." That's
Yeah,
bad.
they want you to just like.
They want you to be aware of it.
Yeah.
So that's why they say
What it
"heads
does is it gets rid of the guilt of it hitting you. They actually think that they did something. Like, I told you, heads up. I mean,
Right. Well, like
up." Even if it was like half a second before it hit your face. Yeah.
so if you're playing golf and you say 4, like is that like "heads up"?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's a very Scottish way to say heads up.
Because it's not just duck.
Yeah.
Because it's not just like get out of the way.
Because there could actually be a duck
Yeah.
Yeah.
on
the golf course. Yeah.
the course. Yeah.
Yeah. So
On the
you-
fairway.
People would be very confused.
Yeah. That gets intense. Yeah.
Okay, with that being said, so I'm glad you enjoyed my questions.
Who said anything about we enjoyed them?
Well, I'm assuming you did.
That
if
is
you didn't
quite the
enjoy them,
assumption.
then
We
like-
tried to play it off well.
I enjoyed them, Matt. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Lancer. I'm glad someone did. All right, so I guess we should introduce ourselves real quick because we've been rambling for a minute. But I am Matthew Kaufman. I am a engineer extraordinaire, which means I know a little bit about everything. And I am married, so I know all there is to know about love. And I'm 26 years old, so I've lived a good long life. So I know a lot of how to survive.
Qualified to give life
Yes.
advice.
Yes, absolutely. And so to my left, I have Aaron, and across from me, I have Lancer. So, Aaron, why don't you introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, my name is Aaron Harris. I'm a 29-year-old youth pastor, and I am a husband, happily married, and I'm a father of 2 boys. And see here, I love the outdoors. I love coffee, and I am deathly afraid of spiders and sharks. Sharks freak me out.
Sharks freak
I
you
mean,
out?
yeah. I mean, you're in the water. They can swim like 5 times faster than you, and they're just all they do is eat.
Yeah. Yeah. Sharks are pretty creepy.
Yeah, sharks are terrifying.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's a little bit about me. Lancer, why don't you tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about you?
Yeah. So my name's Lancer. I teach high school physics, which means I teach really hard stuff to kids who don't really know what they're
Don't
doing.
care.
Yeah. Teenagers are tough, man.
You're trying
They
to
really
decide
are.
how
Tell me about it.
You're trying to decide how insulting you can be without being too insulting.
Right.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
There's none of them in here. You can insult.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So,
But what if they listen?
I mean, yeah. I just remember I was a teenager and I was bad. But anyway, yes. I teach
If you're
high school
wondering if it
physics.
was you and you're listening as one of his students, then it's probably
It's definitely
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Okay, go ahead, Lancer.
Also, I am the oldest in the room. I'm 30. I broke the 30 bracket before anyone else in here. Man. So yeah, I guess you could say I'm the wisest of all of us. So
Yeah,
if you,
I would say
if you
that.
need wisdom, I got that. Also, one thing about me that's probably the most important thing that you need to know is that I have the most beautiful bald head that anyone has ever seen. And it's
Bald
yeah.
and Beautiful Club.
Bald and beautiful. So, Bosley can just, stay out the door because I don't really care for them. Yeah. So
Yeah, you don't need Just for Men. You don't need
I don't need hymns. Well, man, yeah. What if Hymns decided to sponsor us? I gotta
what's the other one? Is it Keeps?
Keeps.
Keeps?
That's what I'm thinking of. Keeps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Keeps, if you're listening to this podcast.
I don't know
Yeah.
any
Lancer
of these.
could be your
I
Your new
knew
spokesperson.
Bosley. Like Bosley was the only one that I recognized of that.
Yeah.
What is it? Hems?
Hymns.
Hymns.
Keeps. Not
Keeps.
hymns.
Oh,
Keeps.
that's not a thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's keeps.
So it's keeps. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I've heard of
Hims
Keeps
is a
either.
side business we just created.
Oh my gosh.
All right. So with that, we'll move on to shower thoughts, which is going to be provided to us by Aaron today.
Yeah, let me kick this off. So here's the genesis of shower thoughts. Have you ever been, this is going to sound so profound. Have you ever been in the shower and I don't know about everybody else, but showers are wonderful. They're
Yes.
truly amazing. I could take multiple showers a day just because I enjoy them. But not necessarily out of need. But generally I'm a morning shower person first and foremost. Kind of wakes you up, rejuvenates you, but oftentimes you'll be showering early in the morning and you'll just be in there sudsing up and you're like, man, I got all these random thoughts in my head. This is a perfect time to think about them. So I have 2 shower thoughts.
Trying to decide if that happens in the shower or on the toilet.
Both.
Yeah, true.
Both.
Good
But
answer.
the shower is more therapeutic.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
You're more, I don't know,
See, I don't-
calm.
Yeah.
You're more at peace in the shower.
Am I weird because I don't have these profound shower thoughts? What I have is I sit in the shower trying to piece together what dream I had last night.
No, that definitely happens.
And that
Yeah.
because I have these vivid dreams and sometimes I can piece them together. Sometimes I can't get it.
Basically, what you're saying is you're Jason Bourne.
Yes. I'll claim that.
All right. So let me give you guys shower thought number 1, and I'll throw it out there, and then we'll start with Lancer, and then we'll just go around. Here's shower thought number 1 for the day. If you punch yourself in the face and it hurts, are you weak or are you strong?
Oh wow.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good to start it off. I felt like that was a strong submission.
That was a great.
Matt's crying already. Oh man.
I don't know. Maybe we should all test it out real quick.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Matt,
Let's
you
just
go
give
first.
hypothetical answers. So if you punch yourself in the face and it actually hurts, does that mean you're strong or does it mean you're weak?
Man, I don't know. I don't know if there's a right answer to that.
There's a right answer. Well,
The right answer is don't punch yourself in the face.
There's a couple answers.
I think it's you're dumb. I think
Yes.
that might be-
Thank you. That was the first answer. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha.
But for sake of argument, I mean,
Are you strong or are you weak? Well, the question is, can you take it? Like, does it hurt? Sure. Can you take it? Do you cry? That's the big question.
right. So my answer would be if you punch yourself in the face and it hurts. It's just so fun to say that because you just envision yourself.
I just imagine someone thinking that.
I'm just thinking of you doing this in the shower,
You're like,
which is even better.
What would happen? To be clear, I have not tried this, but here's my thought on it. I think that you are weak because you're not going to haul off and deck yourself in the face with the same ferocity that you would somebody trying to harm you, somebody in a boxing ring. You're going to pull up a little bit.
How angry are you with yourself? That's another
I mean,
question.
it doesn't matter.
There's a lot of questions that are coming up off of this.
Man.
Everybody loves themselves to some extent. So
Yeah.
you're going to be like, man, I hate myself. And then you're going to go to punch yourself and be like, but I love my face.
Yeah.
And you're going to pull up and you're not going to give it your all. And so if you do that and it hurts, then yeah, you're kind of a sissy. That's my thought.
I feel like it would hurt, period. See, I still think that it's a matter of, can you take it? Like, if you can't take it, if like you punch yourself in the face and then you're crying over it, well then yeah, you're a sissy. But if you can punch yourself in the face, it hurt, then you actually like walloped yourself real good. Then
Have you ever been like pulling on something or, you're trying to like jimmy something open or whatever and your hand slips and it comes back and hits you in the face?
yeah.
Have you ever had that?
yeah.
Like, to me, it doesn't hurt as much as it just catches you off guard.
Yeah.
And then you're just kind of like mad that you embarrassed yourself.
Yeah.
So I kind of think that most, like if you got hit in the face, we think, man, you're going to get punched in the face. It's not like Rocky Marciano's over there punching you in the face. So I think it would probably hurt less than what we envision.
Yeah.
Because we always envision us like punching or being a bigger beast than what we actually are.
Right. Well, I guess here's a simple question. Does a black eye hurt? I would say yeah.
Sure.
I mean, it's like a bruise. It's kind of annoying. It hurts. It swells up, whatever. If you gave yourself a black eye, it hurt, but did you take it? I still think that's the big question.
The embarrassment of having to explain that you gave yourself a black eye,
That would hurt a little.
that would be worse than the pain of
That's
actually
true.
blacking
Yeah.
your own eye.
100%.
Yes, hurts you on the inside.
Anyway,
Yeah.
you got another one? Because you
I
said
do.
question number 1, so it got me excited.
Here's question number 2, and I feel like this one may be a little bit of a letdown, but that's okay because segment number 2 is going to be good. Here's shower thought number 2. We always say that things are on fire, when in reality, fire is on things.
I love that one.
Yeah.
Because if you're like, oh man, be careful, that stick's on fire. Actually, the fire is on the stick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we never say that.
Right.
I mean, in my
Or the
very tiny mind, unless you're like striking a match and you're literally sitting on it, then you can say, I'm on fire.
But it would go out very
But
quickly.
it would go out.
Or could you also say the stick is in fire? Could you say
in
that?
fire.
But
Like
well,
fire can't exist without sticks.
Well, and
So,
here's the
yeah.
thing: fire doesn't generally. It's hard to. I'm thinking of this on the fly, but does fire exist underneath of things? Because fire travels upward. So now things can catch fire underneath, but it travels upward. So I'm trying to decide if things can be on top of fire at all.
Yeah, good point. I don't know.
If it's in contact with something else, then no.
Right. I don't know. I just
That's a-
tend to think that
No, but you're right.
if you like walk up next to a fire and
You
The
can put
bottom
stuff
of-
in fire though, so I think I could be on board with
right, yeah, like if there was a fire that was already made,
that. Yeah,
and you're like, this stick is going in the fire,
right into the
then
fire.
yes, but you have to have something to make the fire with.
Right.
You can't just strike a match on concrete and it just self-contains itself. Even then, the match is producing the fire.
Yeah.
It's the fuel. But if you walk up to a fire and your pant leg catches on fire, you're gonna be like, I'm on fire. But really, fire's on you.
Yeah,
Yeah. Interesting.
that's a good one.
It's kind of deep.
That
I
one
hate to bring the heavy right away,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
man,
wow.
goodness.
that one's
Yeah, that's one of those
Question.
that makes you wonder.
The first one was funny.
That
one was
They were two different questions.
Yeah,
I kind of
yeah.
both needed them in here to balance each other out. But there you go. Shower thoughts, segment number 1. We're going to transition to segment number 2, which is Would You Rather?
Right. So Would You Rather is such a good thought-provoking game, I feel like. Like, it makes you actually think, okay? And I have a couple.
I hate games that make me think.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Well, you'll hate this one.
Dang it.
All right, so I got a couple Would You Rathers. Yeah.
I think we all have one, don't we?
We
all have one. So let's
Well, by the
let's
way,
go around.
I have like 40 shower thoughts here, too, because I love shower thoughts. But
Oh, man.
I might do a lightning round at the end or something. So,
or save them.
yeah, we'll save
Yeah,
it.
we'll see. Yeah.
We'll see. If
We
they
can't
come back up
expunge
later.
all of our material in episode 1.
All right, so here we go. This is for Matt and Aaron. I would like for you guys to decide.
And anybody else listening?
Anyone else?
Yes.
Would you rather be a master of every musical instrument or be fluent in every language?
This is easy for me. It would be a master of every instrument.
See, for me, it would be every language.
Oh, I am interested to know why.
Debate.
Please tell.
Well, because I've never been a master of any instrument. So
But you are a master of one language.
right. But to be a master of all languages would be, I mean, like, you think of the ability that you would have to communicate just around the world, whether it be through business or or investment or whatever, just the ability to influence worldwide and just being able to understand other people, like wherever you go and stuff like that, which could be a curse at the same time.
Yeah, your
but
communication skills would be off the chart.
it would be incredible.
My question is, when are you? You know, I don't know exactly what language the Mongols use. If it's the Mongol language,
Well, if you knew-
Mongolian is. I mean,
If
I
you
know they
knew
make
it-
good beef, but that's about all I know.
If you were the master of all languages, you would know.
That is true.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I'm the master of all instruments.
Right.
Are you going to be like communicating with Mongols?
What? Or like Klingons?
Why
or-
not?
Are you going to be you speak all these Aborigine languages?
If I knew every language, I would absolutely become a world traveler.
Oh, no doubt. But are you going to? There's places you can go where you show up and speak their language, and they still look at you as food and put you in a pot and eat you. So I feel like there are some obvious, awesome things about being a master of language like that, but I feel like there's a lot of it that I wouldn't use. Whereas with everybody loves music. It doesn't matter who you are, you love some kind of music. And to be in any environment, in any scenario, whatever you're feeling like, you can just pick up any instrument and play something and it's awesome. That's just, it's good for the soul and it's soothing. And even if you can't communicate with somebody, people communicate. Music has no language.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just, it spans everything.
So come to think of it, I think it's easier for them to become a master of all instruments if you have that like ability. You know, the people can hear perfect pitch.
Right.
Yeah.
There are people, I think, like you give them 20 minutes with an instrument, they could just about play whatever song they need to.
If you said Mary Had a Little Lamb, people in 20 minutes could figure it out on almost any instrument.
Right. Yeah. So anyway.
Yeah, it's probably more attainable.
All right. Would you rather number 2?
I'm just thinking, like, I want to see you just pick up a Jew's harp and just like go to town. Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So would you rather number 2, a little less serious, but probably harder to answer? Would you rather have hands that kept growing as you got older, or feet that kept growing as you got older?
How much are they growing?
To a point where it's like ridiculously large by the
Feet.
time you're done.
Hands or feet?
Shaquille O'Neal has made size 17 and 18 shoes look good for years.
Yeah, but he's
I'm a
also like 17 feet
I was gonna
tall.
say, imagine me with
Yeah,
17
but
feet.
what's weirder? I mean, imagine trying to text on your giant hands. Imagine trying to type something. Imagine shaking people's hand and you're shaking their arm. Like, at least you don't come in contact with other people's feet that often.
But like, could you drive with a size 42 shoe by the time you're 70?
Uber.
Uber.
I ain't driving when I'm
Uber
70 and
Black.
having
Make
someone
sure
else
I get
drive
that
me.
Escalade so I get a little extra leg room back there.
Yeah.
I feel like it wouldn't
Probably
be
feet.
I wouldn't be as inconvenienced.
Well, because there's less like dexterity that's necessary for your feet, and I'm saying this as a soccer player, so it would kind of devastate me to have giant feet. But at the same time,
You would be a wicked awesome swimmer.
oh,
Oh,
goodness.
Man,
Well, like-
Michael Phelps,
all right.
here I come.
Here's a secondary question: are they growing as wide as they are long?
Oh, yeah.
I don't like this question.
Yeah, I think they would have to.
I think there would be some weird. Otherwise, it would be like really long.
Well,
like
let's just
pencil
think
feet.
proportionally. Your feet don't grow that wide compared to length.
Yeah.
I mean, your feet are kind of the shape they are. It's not like they're going to turn into giant, squares on
Right.
the bottom of your foot. You're
Right.
not going to be Perry the Platypus running around. I mean, maybe you would. That'd be
That would increase your
legit,
swimming
'cause-
ability.
yeah. I mean, and your crime fighting ability.
Well, because like if they just got longer rather than wider, your swimming ability would be like nothing.
yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. It's still more surface area than I got now.
That's true. It'd
So
just be
I-
really awkward.
It would be really awkward. Yeah, you feel like it would be like Jar Jar Binks or something like that. You'd have some
Something like
weird
that.
like crossover.
How dare you
breed.
mention that
Okay.
terrible character?
Think about this, though, guys. When your feet are getting longer, every step you take, you know how you're kind of going up on your toes? If your feet are like 3 feet long, then every step you take, your head goes 3 feet higher in the air. Wouldn't that be a weird thing to deal with in
Yes.
your life? Like walking through a door, you got to time your footsteps right so your head doesn't hit the top of the
Well,
door.
but you could learn to walk differently.
Yeah, you'd have to like waddle like a
Yeah.
penguin eventually.
You'd have to walk flat-footed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd still rather do that than have giant hands.
Okay. Fair enough.
So-
I feel like the giant hands would have a lot of problems with like like you said, like dexterity and stuff like that. So I think that would be a difficulty. It'd be hard to hold a pencil.
Yes. Writing would be tough. I mean, there's just so many. You use your hands so much more than you. I mean, you use your feet a lot, but
Yeah.
the stuff that we use our hands for, it feels like it's almost more important to us.
Yeah. I would have to agree. Yeah, the hands are super important, and you really could just cut your feet off eventually and be fine. So,
Hey, there's a lot of people that live life in a wheelchair with no
yeah,
feet.
so-
Now, should we talk about our would you rather's? Because I think
Yeah, Matt, go ahead and give us
go
one.
ahead.
All right, mine's actually pretty basic. So I cheat on would you rather because I'm not clever enough to come up with my
How
own.
dare you?
But I saw this one. I thought it was kind of interesting. Would you rather have everything you eat be too salty or not salty enough, no matter how much salt you add?
Oh, that's easy for me. No salt. I'd be totally fine with no salt on any of my food.
Wow.
So, and like too salty is just disgusting. Like nothing is enjoyable at that point. So, no salt for me. Easy.
I'm going with everything undersalted.
Yeah,
I
no
mean,
salt.
to me, I love salt, but too much of a good thing
Yeah.
turns out to be a bad thing, and your water consumption
Right.
will be off the charts if everything is overly salty.
Yeah, I thought the same thing. And the other thing that I thought of was ice cream. If everything you eat is too salty, that includes like ice cream.
Which there is salt in ice cream.
Yeah, but think of salty tasting ice cream.
Salted, super salted caramel ice cream.
Yeah, that sounds disgusting.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep. So yeah, I was on the same boat.
By the
on that,
way,
so
can
maybe
we
that's
just
a little
settle
too
something
obvious.
right now for all of humanity? Just because people advertise something as sea salt doesn't actually make it better.
Yeah.
You know, people buy like truffles, and I think for a while Wendy's was running that deal. They're like naturally cut sea salt fries. It's like your fries are still not that good. Okay, the sea salt doesn't, just put salt on it.
I
Nobody
mean,
cares that much.
I gotta say it. I slightly disagree with the Wendy's fries. When they did the sea salt, I was like, these are great.
Did you think it was the salt that made them better, or just like they got some different potatoes?
It might have been the potatoes, but I just remember when they were
Maybe
doing
a
that,
different oil?
They
You
got
know,
better to me.
I
Yeah.
like Wendy's fries, and I actually like Wendy's okay, but their stores have gotten so nasty lately.
Yeah, they're not.
They're
like-
very third world.
I've dropped Wendy's because they're not clean enough for me.
Well, I mean, you get a whole meal for $4. They can't really like. You can't afford to have someone clean anymore. So
You can't afford cleanliness when you're only charging $1.20 for. I remember when the double stack with cheese was $1.
yeah, they got a great dollar menu. Like it's
Yeah, they used to
great.
have the cheesy cheddar burger.
We need to make Wendy's great
That was
again.
Make Wendy's great again. We should all just go into a
Now,
Wendy's and clean it up.
Before we make Wendy's great again,
Volunteer at your local Wendy's today.
they need to make Wendy's great again, and then we can make
Agreed.
Wendy's like more popular again. How
People
about
people
that?
just go there for the Frosties.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, here's my would you rather, and I'll be honest. When I thought of this question initially, I knew what my answer was. The more I thought of it, the more I changed my mind. And it's a little bit serious, but here we go. Would you rather know how you die or when you die?
I saw that one.
Mm.
I actually saw
This
that
is
one in my-
this one sparks a lot of debate,
Yeah.
and initially I had thoughts on it. So, Lancer, what do you think on that? Would you rather know how you die or when you die?
Oh man, this is a really tough one. This is a good one, Aaron. I would say I would rather know when I died, and then that way I know when my time is up. That way I can die the most epic way possible. If I was told, it creates a little bit of a paradox, honestly. But if
It
I was
does.
told you're gonna die at the age of 74, 17 days after your birthday, then I would just jump into a cage with gorillas and just go nuts at the age
What?
of 74. Like, just
Like-
go for it, man.
Is that considered epic or stupid?
That sounds like a horrific way to
Or
die.
epically stupid?
I mean, I would go down as a legend in history. Like, I'm thinking
What
more
if
legacy at that
what
point.
if you jumped into a gorilla cage and they didn't do anything, but you like broke your neck jumping in there, and then you just laid there and died, and gorillas just stared at you?
Here's the thing, like you wouldn't end up going down in history. You would end up being that guy on the news that jumped into a gorilla cage and died. Like that's just
You would
what
be
it would be.
you would be the winner of the Darwin Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great. Like that'd be cool with me. I'm fine with that.
But why not like die in a plane crash or something like that? Like you get your pilot's license and you crash a plane on that day.
Okay, yeah,
like that sounds cool.
That's another thing too. I would thought like
It'd be fast. It would be fiery.
Just Captain America style. You just take it down right in the
Yeah.
middle of the ocean.
or
Yeah.
another thing. I've actually
I mean,
thought about
take
this.
out a loan and buy the plane and crash it like that.
Just crash it. And be like, yeah,
Yeah.
I've thought about this before. Actually, like I've always thought if I could get to a point to where I was about to die, right? Like I knew my body was just done, and it was like close to the end. It was about to be over, and like I still had a little bit of control. I would get on the fastest motorcycle possible and see how far into the Grand Canyon I could go. Like
Wow.
just launch it off the edge. And
That'd be
just
so
go for it.
scary for like
Yeah,
30
that-
seconds.
oh, man.
Yeah, but
Less
that'd
than
be-
30
I
seconds.
think
that'd be
everybody is afraid of death. So this question's kind of weird
Yeah.
because we're afraid of it. But I'm interested to know what you would choose, Matt.
I've been thinking about it for a while. The thing, I don't like the idea of knowing when, because knowing when, either way, it creates a fear over something. So it's either you're afraid of how you die, like let's say, you know that you die by breaking your neck because you didn't tie your shoes. Well, then
Because you jumped into a gorilla cage.
well, then you are like super like sensitive about tying your shoes just all the time. You're just like, oh, maybe it's today. Oh no, got to make sure my shoes are tied. So either way, you're constantly fearful of something. I think the idea of knowing when you die is a little bit better because then it's okay. Well, I know it's then. I don't have to worry about it today. And so I
Right.
think I would rather know when.
So initially I was thinking, I just want to know how I die because if it's, a car accident, I just avoid cars. And then I'm like, what kind of a life is that?
Yeah.
So the more I thought about it, the right answer would be knowing when you die because it doesn't matter if you know how you die. I mean, what if the answer is cancer?
Yeah.
Every time you are sick or you come down with a cough,
Yep.
you are going to be paranoid out of your mind.
Yeah.
And your family members are always going to be on edge. You're going to live the rest of your life on edge constantly.
Right.
If it's a car accident, you're never getting in a car again. But I mean, even if you don't get, let's say, for instance, you had a shorter sentence. Let's say, you die at age 45. For me, I'll be turning 30 this year, so you got 15 more years left. Those will be the 15 best years of your life because you'll live it to the fullest because you know when the last day is. There'll be no reservations. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of things that you would probably not try because not having any idea when you're going to die, you would probably tend to be a lot more practical about certain things. But if you know this is the date that I'm going to die, you're gonna try a lot of things that you maybe wouldn't have tried just because of practicality. You're like, well, man, I only live once. Your bucket list, you would totally be checking things off that bucket list.
Yeah.
Right.
Whereas, if you knew, how you die, you'd be prone to probably forget a few of those
Well,
things.
I kind of wonder if you would get to a point where you would almost look forward to it.
Yes,
Where
you
it'd be
would
like-
be able to prepare yourself and your family for this event, and it wouldn't take you by surprise.
Yeah.
And
Now the method might take you by surprise. It's like,
Yes.
oh, you're gonna die at 35.
but you
on
don't know
this
how.
Day.
So
Right. You
yeah,
don't know how.
you
so
just
you're-
know the day.
You're just like, where's it coming from?
It's gonna happen
On that day,
sometime.
I would just sit in my house and just be like, all right,
Someone's
any
coming-
moment now.
Someone's gonna break into my house and shoot me.
Right. But I mean, I just think knowing when you die is probably the right answer because you can plan your life out and you actually have some control over it. If you just know how you die and, you're going to, fall. I mean, you're not going to go. What if it's drowning? You're never going to go anywhere near water.
Yeah.
You're not going to go to the lake, the pool.
But then
Right.
at that point, like you're going to die from drowning somehow.
Yes.
So it'll be like you slip, fall in the shower.
It's
and clog
inevitable.
the drain or something.
Right. Yeah, I mean, you're going to be paranoid of water the rest of your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's
You're not going to
inevitable.
get baptized.
Yeah. Like
So,
It's almost an irrational fear just because it's inevitable. So
Yeah.
you can't really do anything about it.
right.
right. So you're just going to have to deal with it your whole
So I think
if
we've
you
come
locked
to-
yourself in a cell and said, "I'm not touching water," you're going to drown on your own spit somehow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I think we've all come to a consensus here. It's
Yeah.
when you die.
Yeah.
Now I do have one more, and I think we have time for one more short one.
Yeah,
so
we got time.
yeah.
let me pose this one. This one's a little more lighthearted. Would you rather go to jail for 4 years for something that you did not do, or would you rather commit a horrible, terrible crime and get away with it, but always live in fear of being caught? That's a good one.
Okay. I have a question to make a caveat.
Oh, man.
Can this crime that is awful and horrible be used to, like, as justice, like kind of like Batman style?
Negative.
Oh, okay, so it's just like I'm just
You're
a
not
bad,
Batman.
I'm just a bad person.
You're just a bad dude.
Okay. Oh, Matt, what
I'm
do you
trying
think?
to decide on how horrendous this crime is.
Yeah.
I mean, we could. I guess you would have to say it's like manslaughter or murder or something, you know,
Yeah.
where your life would be required either in jail time or by death.
Right.
I would probably say the 4 years, but that is only because I would live in fear for like 30 years after,
Yeah.
or something like that. So I figure 4 years of bad life is better than 30 years of bad life.
Okay, so it also depends on like the other thing, the other twist that needs to come into this question is you have to spend 4 years in like Shawshank.
Or like
Okay.
community jail. Or like
So it's not just like, oh, you're spending 4 years in prison, because I mean there's a vast swath of prisons
Right.
out there. So I would say the 4 years for conscience sake, because I think when you talk about conscience and like how that just like erodes at you over time, I think the 4 years would be worth that.
I don't know if you could withstand, the mental trauma
Right.
of. I mean, where are you going to go and hide?
Well, I mean, that's like when you talk about when you're interrogating someone. They put you through like mental trauma more than they will physical trauma because it's more effective.
Right.
So I wouldn't want to go through the mental trauma of doing that
Yeah, I agree.
to myself.
I agree. I think which is crazy.
Yeah.
You're just like, I'm just going to write off 4 years of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would rather, but that means someone got away with something if you got accused of it for 4 years and then they got away with it.
Right.
So they're the person that's getting away with it for the rest of their life.
Unless you're just falsely accused for something, then it's just someone getting away with
But
it.
there's a good
accusing
chance
you
you're
for
going to get a documentary deal out of it.
Yeah.
something. Yeah, true. Get
Yeah.
a book deal.
Yeah.
True.
All right. Let's move on to segment number 3, Matt.
All right, so we have a draft today, and so we've got a good setup for this draft where we do a snake draft. It's going to start with me. It's going to go to Lancer for pick number 2, and then to Aaron for pick number 3, and then it'll be Aaron for pick number 4.
Oh,
Lance for
yeah,
number
back to
5,
back.
me for number 6. We're going to go through this 3 rounds, and the draft today is going to be picking the best princess in a fight to the death. And when I say princess, I mean a Disney princess. And we were very specific on this. We had a lot of discussion on whether we can have, faux princesses or queens and things like that. And we said, no, it has to be the original 11 Disney princesses that are available. So that's where we're at.
Now,
Okay.
I have one question to kick
Yes.
this off. There's a couple of ways we can go with this, and this sounds like an insane topic, and it is, but it's also awesome. So, is this like a last princess standing wins, like a Hunger Games sort of deal, or are they actually fighting as a team? Like where team members can
Yes.
like help each other out.
Yeah, let's.
That's
say-
what I kind of
let's
think
say
too.
Fighting as a team, because
Yes.
what we want to do after this is allow people to have the option of voting on the best team.
Right. So the combined forces of all
right,
three.
Right. So we're
Okay.
saying these 3 princesses are fighting to the death against these other
In the
2 teams of
cage.
3 princesses. Yeah.
And we also discussed that this would be Hunger Games style, right?
Well, we talked about that, but so for instance, if it was Hunger Games style, you have like your team of 3 over here, and when the alarm sounds or whatever, everybody runs out and there's a big cornucopia full of weapons out there, and they just grab stuff and it's
Right.
melee. If that's the case, that would change some of my rankings. If they literally had to fight or outlast each other in this little created universe, I don't think we can go that route because I think it would take way too long and there'd be way too much thought.
Okay.
And then it's like, what kind of weapons are there?
Well,
What's all in the cornucopia then? Is there a bazooka?
well, what I was thinking was like,
Are weapons allowed?
So
That's
yeah.
So some of them have skills.
yes.
I would say that they are allowed to employ their skills.
Okay, good.
okay.
I just want to make sure.
Okay. So like,
I agree.
so all of them should have a weapon.
Not necessarily.
Okay. So
Right.
okay.
So we are taking. So here's. You guys tell me what you think. We're just dropping this live. I think you just have to take them for what they are in the movie, and take that and just say, all right, they're all in a cage.
Now let me clarify one other little rule. It has to be them, not their pet,
Correct.
not
Okay, yes.
any other character that can be with them. It's them.
Right.
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 All right.
Okay. Yes.
Let's kick this off. All right, Matt, you have pick number 1.
Okay,
and
so-
you are on the clock. Somebody ought to write this down. I suppose I will.
I feel like there's like two main ones that we can obviously choose from that can be that number 1 pick. And sorry, Aaron, you're number 3 pick.
Yeah.
All right, so number 1 for me is Mulan.
That was my 101.
There you
And
go.
Mulan has gone through battle and war and, just she's gone through it. And she's done it as a man.
What a great pick. I mean, not that she was a man, but
Yeah, no, but
But
like,
I mean, she has skills with a bow staff.
yeah,
She has skills with a bow and arrow.
Yep.
With a sword.
yep.
She fired like a cannon at a mountain and avalanched the whole
It's been
thing
a
on
long
an
time
army.
since I watched Mulan, but yeah.
Mulan's the clear number 1.
Yeah.
I can't deny that.
I mean, it's just the fact that she's gone through like legit war against like the Huns. Yeah,
Right.
okay. Yeah. That's pretty
That-
amazing.
that is-
I
that's
would
a-
be scared to do that.
Yeah, and I mean, she never backed down, so
Yeah.
she's obviously got the bravery factor there,
Yep.
Yeah.
and nothing's going to intimidate her. That's a great pick.
Great pick. Yes,
All right,
great.
Lancer, you are on the clock. Pick number 2.
All right. So I'm not a Disney princess master,
Hard to
Yeah.
really believe that.
but I've done a lot of research, and the number 2 pick of the Disney Princess Fight to the Death draft. I think I'm going to say this right. Merida
Merida
the-
from Brave.
From Brave.
Have
with
you
the
seen it,
bow and
Aaron?
arrow.
Yes,
I
I've only
haven't.
watched it once. It
haven't.
wasn't my favorite, but yeah, Merida's got some wicked archery skills.
Yeah, Merida's pretty epic. She's not quite Mulan, but I'm hoping I could edge you out on the second pick
Yeah.
here. So, yeah, Merida, number 2.
That's a good pick.
It is a good
and
pick.
she's like Hawkeye. She can hit anything with a bow. So
Like if we were doing like a Hunger Games like mirror, I mean, she would be
Katniss Everdeen.
Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, yep.
yeah, she
She's the
definitely
archer.
would.
Yep.
This is playing out exactly what I thought.
Yeah.
And I
Oh,
think
yeah.
I'm going to steal the draft with number 3. I'm not trying to throw it here, but I think I've got a sneaky number 3 pick. And remember, it is combined, right? So each team member can kind of help the other team members. Pick number 3 for me is Rapunzel
Okay.
Oh, good pick.
from Tangled.
Good pick.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you why she's an
See,
awesome pick.
that's specific. It's from Tangled, and
Right.
you know,
Yes.
She is a princess from
Yep.
Tangled.
That is important.
And she has magical powers. She has hair that gives life.
yeah,
So if anybody on my team
She's
ends up
the healer.
getting injured, all she has to do is they have to touch her hair and she sings this song and they are healed.
And not just that, she can like grab stuff with her hair.
She can straight up strangle you
Yeah.
with her hair. I mean, she takes the guy who's going to eventually be her husband and like beats him over the head with a frying pan and locks him in a closet. And she can pull people up to heights with her hair So the hair, I mean, you'll be running around the octagon here, and all of a sudden, bam, she trips you with her hair. And then, let's say one of my other teammates gets injured. All they have to do is reach out and grab her hair, which is, super long, so it's going to be easy to do. She starts singing this little song, all of a sudden it starts glowing, and then boom.
And then Mulan cuts her hair off.
Yeah.
No, because
you gotta be careful with that. Her hair could get cut off.
Yeah, but
Mulan's a wily one.
But she's also she can also rejuvenate herself. She doesn't die because of her hair. Because you remember the old lady would always have
what
her
if you
sing.
chop her head off? I get there's a limit.
Yeah, it is a fight to the death. So I'm just saying she's a sneaky good pick because she's going to bring some fighting prowess.
With a stick.
But she's also going to bring healing. All right. So that's pick number 3 is Mulan. Rapunzel. Yeah. Mulan was number 1, and then Merida number 2. So that's going according to plan. This is where it gets weird. All right, back to back, round 2. Pick number 4. I'm just going to go with my sleeper pick of this draft, and that is not a tease right there. Sleeper pick. Oh, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. No, I'm not going there. Pick number 4. I'm taking Cinderella.
Oh, okay.
Cinderella. And I've got my reasons here.
Please do explain.
I think she's a decent pick.
I think she's a pretty good pick too.
Mm-hmm.
Cinderella is been using mops and brooms her whole life. So, she's got some pretty good upper body strength. She can whip a mop around and smack you upside the head with that thing. Mm-hmm. But I mean, other things right off the top of my head is, you'll be running around the octagon looking for Rapunzel to cut off her hair, and all of a sudden you get slashed with a glass slipper. I don't know if you've ever been cut with glass, but it's devastating. All of a sudden, wham, glass slipper upside the head. She could lacerate you. And here's the other thing about Cinderella. She's kind of got a little Tom Brady in her, right? She's a princess, but she's been treated, like a 6th round draft pick, like Tom Brady. So she got a little chip on the shoulder. People have been making her do the dishes. People have been making her scrub the floor. She got, wicked stepmother, stepsisters. So I feel like she's about ready to go postal on somebody. And so she's kind of got some crazy eyes. It's hidden behind all the, singing and the mice making clothes for her and stuff like that, which is also amazing because she can basically command rodents to do what she wants. All those mice that can attack people. I'm just saying,
bite off Rapunzel's.
Hey man,
Rapunzel's on the same.
Yeah,
team,
she's on my team. So I feel like she's got the chip on the shoulder. She's got the right mind frame. She's been treated poorly, so she's gonna come into this with a glass slipper and the mop, and she's gonna take people to task. So I think
she's like the ultimate vindictive lady.
Yes, yeah. I feel like she's got a little psychopath in her.
Yeah.
All right. So you just took.
Is this like Cinderella pre Prince Charming or? It's Prince Charming, right? That's her.
Yes. I guess so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
don't know what his name is.
I don't know if that makes a big difference, but.
All right. So with my second pick in the draft coming in, I'm so glad I get this pick. I'm glad that this person has fallen. I'm going to go with probably the best runner. Maybe
it was between them.
Maybe one of the greatest ones. The warrior Pocahontas.
Yes.
Is coming in.
Great choice.
Yep.
Coming in 2nd round for Team Lancer. So right now I'm sitting at Merida and Pocahontas.
Here was the thing. I had Pocahontas originally ranked 3.
Mm-hmm.
But I felt like Rapunzel's healing qualities, plus, she can use the hair as a viable weapon.
Yeah.
Or to restrain somebody. She could, Mulan could go to chop her hair off and she ties them up. Can't even wield the sword.
Yeah.
But the thing with Pocahontas is she is, like you said, she's a great runner, but she doesn't do anything else.
Right.
She's actually very passive.
Yeah, it's in the movie.
Yeah. So she's kind of like, she's certainly, that's why if we were doing a Hunger Games type thing, she would be a much higher pick because she could just outlast people because she's got woods people skills, hiding skills. She's super stealthy and quiet and can outrun you.
Yeah,
right.
That's what I'm saying. She's sneaky, man.
So she would be hard to catch, but she's actually not going to be that aggressive with anybody else.
She doesn't even need shoes, man. She just does this like running through the woods like barefoot, man. Like
I think don't all Indians do that?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, she's a savage.
They're Native
So-
Americans. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, sorry for the insensitivity for those of you that
politically
are listening that are Native American. Check that one off on the resume.
Yeah.
All right, so Pocahontas, good choice. Matt, you are up.
All right, so this is where it starts. I feel like I'm dragging off the bottom.
There's a steep drop.
Oh, was that a tease?
No, not yet.
No.
All right, so, and now's when I start just kind of pulling out reasons why. But I'm gonna go with Belle,
Oh,
and it sounds a little odd, but my thought is I've got the strong warrior, and now I need some brains.
right.
So Belle is incredibly smart. She's got an inventor for a dad. She's a reader like nothing else. So let's have some brains in the party. And so we've got Mulan and we've got Belle, and I think that tag team right there would be pretty epic.
Belle was decently high on my list also. I mean,
Yeah.
she lived in a castle with a hideous beast
Mm-hmm.
and ends up making that beast like her.
Yeah.
She has incredible persuasive ability,
Mhm.
and she's she was never frightened.
Of course, she was kind of persuaded too, but yeah.
Correct,
yeah.
correct. But I mean, she was just a harmless, girl. Was she French?
I think technically she is.
Okay, so yeah, so which is even more impressive because she's French. But
Wait. Back to our
Anyways,
French
she-
conversation.
she lived with a beast. Ends up, like always being able to kind of talk him off the ledge.
Yeah.
So maybe if you get into a fight, she can actually talk somebody out of like killing her or something like that. She's got some persuasive ability. But yeah, you gotta put Belle up there.
Yeah,
All right.
so Belle's in there. All right, so then
So
I
you're
guess,
leading us off with round 3. This is the last round.
I feel like I have an unfair advantage having like this third round pick as well. But going into the third round, let's see. This is once again hard to pick on here, but I think I'm gonna go with Ariel because she's. You're not going to find a better water person that's going to handle,
Right.
that situation. I guess the question is, where are you fighting? But,
Right. She can reach up and drown you.
oh yeah. And I mean, it's not like someone's going to beat her in the water. It's just not going to happen. So she just kind of has the mastery in a particular element, which is just kind of an added benefit to my party of brains and brawn.
She was on my list.
Yeah.
She's not
granted,
anymore.
The list is only 11, so.
yeah.
But yeah, she was, I guess I would say, on the short
Right, so
list.
I was thinking like initially I was leaning toward Jasmine, but then I was like, well, you can't have her.
Can't use a tiger.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Back to Lancer.
All right. So, with my last pick of the draft, and I agree, we are right at the very bottom. I think just about all these people who are
They're
left.
very, very little skill.
Yeah, all of them are equally useless. So I had to figure out what is the one thing that one of them has that another one doesn't. And I'm going to go with Snow White
Oh.
as my last pick, which may or may not be a good thing. I'm going to
The dwarves don't come with her.
The dwarves don't come with her. Huntsman?
Yeah.
Huntsman doesn't come with her.
Right.
I'm going to go off the sole purpose that she has a slight ability to control animals that are around her. If
Okay.
you ever notice, the birds fly around and help her out.
Yeah.
So I think,
You're not wrong.
although you can't put the pets with her, she might.
She got a little Dr. Doolittle.
She's a little Dr. Doolittle,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I'm also thinking she might have halfway power over Ariel because Ariel is half animal. So I'm wondering. That's the sole reason why I'm getting Snow White. She has I don't think she has any fighting abilities unless you're thinking about Snow White and the Huntsman that's done by Universal, not by Disney.
Yeah, that's not
But
Disney.
we're not
Right,
going.
right.
Yeah, we're going with the Disney one,
Yeah.
which she's like super nothing. She it's like she eats a bad apple and almost dies.
Right.
So it's pretty weak, but
Yeah.
I think the animals would help
Yeah.
her out. So
Yeah.
there you go.
I think
So
that's a good
Snow
reason.
White. All right. So last pick of the draft, and I'm not gonna lie, there's nobody on this list that has anything to bring to the table in a fight. so I'm gonna take the most beautiful out of all the Disney princesses, and that is Sleeping Beauty.
Oh,
Aurora. And, she has this ability to kind of play possum. You maybe
Yeah.
think she's already dead because she's
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty. And you're like, we already killed her.
Oh, she
and then
did
you
it
run
again.
by, bam! She sneak attacks you.
She's back alive.
And and you just thought, man, I thought she was dead. I thought somebody already killed her because she looked so dead, and all of a sudden, boom, she's stabbing you in the neck.
I feel like after a while, people start making sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's
It might get a
where
little brutal.
Rapunzel's hair is going to come in, because they're going to be like, "Oh, I killed her," and then Rapunzel's going to be singing, and you're like, guess not. I'm back alive. See, I just have that rejuvenating factor, and as long as she had pretty good running ability. She had to run around in the woods and flee from different people. There were people trying to kill her. Obviously, a fire-breathing dragon lady trying to kill her, Maleficent. So she's got some escapability, but mainly. Mainly what we're counting on is Cinderella's going to be the brawn here. And
It's been so long since I've seen Sleeping Beauty. I can't remember the story that much. I remember bits of it.
Basically, she's asleep the whole time.
Yeah.
she was a baby, and it was very similar to many of the other princess stories where there's somebody who's envious or something.
Yeah.
And they try to kill her. And so there's like 3 fairies that take her out in the woods and hide her and basically raise her in secret. So the king and queen are always sad that they don't have their daughter. Eventually she comes back to them, and Prince Philip.
You've seen this recently.
I have not.
Oh, okay.
I just have.
just know your
This was
Disney
actually,
princess.
I hate to admit this on radio, but Sleeping Beauty was, she was my first love.
Oh, wow.
So me and Sleeping Beauty, we there was some mutual interest there, I'm sure. But anyways,
at least
I
went one way.
I feel at least it was for me when I was 4. But I feel like she's got some beauty, some radiant beauty. I think people will be envious of her, and it'll take pressure off of Cinderella and Rapunzel. And if you've also noticed, I've picked all blondes. I think people will underestimate the blondes. I think they'll be like, a bunch of dumb blondes. All of a sudden, boom, we're killing everybody.
You did get all blondes.
I did.
Wow.
Cinderella's going to be slashing you with the glass slipper.
I got 2 brunettes and a redhead.
What did I got a redhead too. Yeah. Oh yeah. Redheads are kind of an advantage, I think, in this.
Yeah, redheads are, because I guess crazy is okay.
It's angry.
Yeah.
And all the redheads in the world tuned out.
All right. So with that being said, so Aaron, your list is
So I've
get
got
your list off
Rapunzel,
again.
pick number 1.
Yeah.
Then I've got Cinderella, and I have Aurora.
Not bad. All right. So I went with Merida number 1, Pocahontas number 2, Snow White number 3.
I just wonder if you're going to have some communication issues, because Pocahontas, she's probably got some Native American tongue that she's going to be trying to use too, and Merida is Scottish,
I mean,
and so she's going to be hard to understand. She's going to be telling them like, flank to the left, and like people aren't going to understand what she's saying.
I think the diversity brings like
You do have a very diverse group.
skill. Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that could also be your downfall. I think they can be like, Merida will be like, kind of, a little slight cocky and be like, talking about how the Scottish are better. And then, Pocahontas going to be like, America.
Yeah.
And then Snow White's just going to be like, she's just so lovey-dovey, she's not going to care.
I'll be honest. I think Pocahontas is my leader, but I don't think she's the best. I think she's like a leader of the team.
Yeah, I would agree with that too. Plus, but Merida's pretty young too, so you got to think she's got some wicked awesome skill with a bow.
I don't know enough about Merida. So.
She's a little bit of a loose cannon.
Yeah.
Like her mom would like tell her what to do, and she was like, "Nah, I'm going rogue." So she, even though Pocahontas is your leader, she's not a great listener.
I'm glad
Merida.
you chose Merida, because I wouldn't have known how to say her name.
Was that the only reason?
Yeah. So I went with the Shake and Bake, Mulan and Belle, and then the Advantage in the Water, Ariel.
What if this is a cage match?
Then Ariel is absolutely
Stationary.
useless.
Maybe Belle can
She'll
sling
stab
her
him with
around,
a fork.
and she can like sling it. What if she traded her voice right before the fight, and all of a sudden, boom, she's got legs now?
Well, then she'll stab him with a fork on her feet.
What fork
With her-
does she have, by the way?
Dingle hopper.
I'm not sure
That's
what
what it's called, right?
a dingle hopper.
I thought it was called a trident. Like
No. When she's using it for her hair, she's like, "Oh, what is this?" And then they give
A
it a name.
thingamabob.
No, I thought they called it a dingle hopper.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think.
I know she has thingamabobs.
I feel like I'm right, but at the same time, I'm second guessing.
So is this like a hair pick?
Well, that's what she thought it was. Remember, she thought that the fork was a thing to
Oh, okay.
use in your hair, and I think the crab, Sebastian's a fish. Whatever the crab is was talking about. He's like, I think it was a dingle hopper or whatever.
Well,
I think.
I'll give you that
Watch
victory
me be
there
wrong on that.
the
We'll
Little
look that
Mermaid.
up later.
I'm not a mermaid expert, but yeah, Mulan was the clear pick. I mean,
I think so.
she's by far the most grown up out of the people with major warrior skills.
That's a really tough list to pick from. I didn't realize there were only 11
Right.
when we first decided on doing
If this was Disney Damsels, which we originally had wanted to do,
Mm-hmm.
the list would have been so broad because you would have been able to bring in all the wicked people.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, oh man, fight to the death with Wicked. I mean, how do you beat
And
Maleficent? She's a fire-breathing dragon.
Right.
She just burns everybody up in one fell swoop, and it's over.
Which she got defeated though. So I mean, obviously there's a way.
that's because we're not drafting Disney dudes. So no sword to the face or whatever she got. Or did he throw the sword at her?
I don't
like
once again. I don't remember.
I think he literally took his sword and eventually threw it and just stabbed her
You're the
in
one
the
who
heart.
had the crush on
Aurora.
So
I would know this. I studied Prince Philip's moves.
I didn't remember
reduplicate that.
I didn't remember that her name was Aurora until I did this.
Right.
So
yeah, same. I was like, who is this person? I thought it was like some Barbie character. I was like, Sleeping Beauty. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
That's just pathetic.
I don't think it's pathetic
Lancer.
on our
I think
end.
Lancer has a Sleeping Beauty poster in his bedroom, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know who that
I
is."
will not confirm or deny. Plead the fifth.
All right.
right.
So the idea is we will post each of these lists on Twitter.
So vote.
So that you can vote on them. We'll also post it on Facebook and give that option as well. And otherwise, if you don't want to vote on that, or if you've already voted on that and you just want to post something about the Would You Rathers and give your 2 cents, we'd like to hear from that too.
Or send us a topic, and we can bring it up and discuss it on an episode.
Absolutely. But I think we've provided you with plenty to review and study on your own time. So be sure to ponder over our draft picks and vote for your favorite on our Twitter page. Like I said, it's at Hipshot Podcast. That's our Twitter page. I know that's not Shoot from the Hip, but that's because that's what was available.
It's as close as we can get.
Yep. So if you enjoyed this podcast and would like to hear more, be sure to subscribe to our SoundCloud. The podcast is called Shoot from the Hip. We should also be found on iTunes pretty soon as we can get it approved through them. So be sure to keep your eye out for that. And if you're still stuck in the vortex that is Facebook, you can follow us over there as well at facebook.com/Shoot from the Hip podcast. And last, we haven't decided if we want to start an Instagram. So if we get enough angry people demanding an Instagram account, we will definitely think about it. Well, thank you for listening, and be sure to keep your eye out for the next episode of Shoot from the Hip.
Good night.
Goodbye.